Good evening, everyone. I don't think I want to dwell on the introduction again. I think you've done justice to that. So my name is Ayo. Like she has mentioned, you guys are pretty much welcome to this free taster session. You are actually making the very right decision, trying to know what data analysis is all about, and if I can say so myself, trying to pick a career in this wonderful data analysis space. Data analytics, data analyst, BI analyst, data engineer, and whatever kind of career path you decide to choose in data space, you are actually doing yourself a lot of good, because currently this space is actually very lucrative, and a lot of companies, blue chip and top in ranking companies today, are actually looking for people who have sufficient skills and experience in this particular space. So what are we going to be doing today? I'm just pretty much going to be introducing you to what you'll be learning in this 8 weeks engagement. It's going to be practical. It's going to be fun. I'm pretty much an hands-on guy. I like to just pour out my mind, let you see what data is all about, and you're going to get your hands dirty as well. And that is pretty much how you're going to learn. So you can be rest assured that you are in the right hands. I have over 10 years experience working with a lot of BI tools, and the chosen BI tools that we will be talking about in our engagement for the about 8 weeks, they are actually very high in demand. Excel, Power BI, and SQL. Trust me, if you can devote your time and energy to those 8 weeks, you are good to go, and you can definitely and confidently pick up a career in, data analytics. So yeah, let's get started. Oh, this is the outline for our course discussion today. We'll just be talking about an overview of data analysis. I know a lot of us will be wondering what is even data analysis, and what do data analysts do? What are the categories of data analysis? What tools are used by data analysts? What are the roles available in data that you can actually cling into? And then we do a bit of introduction to Power BI. So I'm going to share my screen, show you how Power BI is all about, and then just do one or two things in Power BI. You know, it's a taster session. You're just going to have a feel of what you are going to enjoy if you actually subscribe to this bootcamp. Yes. Let's go right into it. So, overview of data analytics. What exactly does data analytics mean? Basically, it's the process of analyzing raw data and transforming and drawing meaningful insights that people or organization or teams or groups of people can use to make informed decisions. So the ultimate goal of any form of analytics is to be able to make informed decision. You know, prior to now, a lot of people make decisions from their instincts. Oh, this is how we used to do it. This is how we did it last year. Let's just do it that way, and it's going to work. You know, that kind of model or that kind of ideology is actually archaic now, right? A company or an organization or even an individual that makes decision from intuition or that's how we used to do it, you are likely going to run into trouble. You know, and a typical example is like when I was in Nigeria. You wake up in the morning, you want to go to the office, maybe you are staying on the mainland and you want to go to the island, for instance, and you don't check your Google map. You know, you just drive out, and then you probably end up in, you know, the worst, you know, traffic that's going to maybe end up ruining your day. So you need some form of data to be able to make informed decision, and each and every one of us do that one way or the other today. Some of us that use smartphones, we check the weather, we check our Apple iPhone. Hey Siri, what's the weather today? Is it going to rain today? Is it going to snow today? You know, we are using data to make informed decisions on a day-to-day basis. So basically, data analysis is just a process of transforming raw data, right? And raw data can come in any form or any shape. Raw data can be in form of text. As I'm speaking now, there are some companies that actually, invest in text analysis to make informed decisions. There are some companies that invest in tweet analysis, analytics, semantics, looking at people's expressions. What are they saying? What is their temperament? And using that to actually make informed decisions on a day-to-day basis. Elon Musk right now is the owner of Twitter. He does a lot of semantic analytics to put his mouth out there about Twitter. Twitter is better than how it used to be today. Looking at people's aura, looking at people's reaction to the features that they are churning out on Twitter on a day-to-day basis, and using that to actually talk about the market's improvement and changes that are happening over time. So basically, data analytics helps you to make sense of past and also helps you to predict future trends. So you can use data analytics to know what's going to happen over the next couple of months. If you are into a company that makes that sells certain products, you want to see how profitable your product will be in the next couple of years. You want to see if you're going to lose some staff, or you're going to run into losses, and maybe there's going to be the entry of a new competition that's going to affect your business. So you can actually use data to make all these predictions and make smart decisions to help boost your business. Then there's a distinction between data analytics and data analysis. Data analytics is a broad field that uses data and tools to make business decisions, while data analysis is just like a subset of data analytics that refers to specific actions. So when you are doing data analysis, you are doing like one out of many other things that you can do in the data analytics space. And what are the categories of data analysis? I mean, we're just going through this just to broaden our mind, to just welcome us to the data analysis space and to see what we're going to actually know more about when we start this course. So we have descriptive, which just describes what has happened. I recorded a sale of 10 million naira in the last 3 quarters. That is just describing what has happened. That's that kind of analysis. Diagnostic is just maybe there is a dip in my sales revenue in a particular month in my company, and I want to know what resulted into that. Maybe there was a particular key staff that usually brings in revenue or sales, and that person resigned and left to another competitor organization. That's what resulted into. So diagnostic analysis is like you are deep diving, you are looking deep into what happened to this kind of insight that I'm seeing. Predictive uses a lot of tools to actually forecast behaviors or trends or patterns and see what's going to happen over the next couple of months, weeks, days, years, and so on. And you typically use trend data, historical data, to actually predict what's going to happen over a period of time. Prescriptive basically uses tells you to calls you to action. It uses data to determine what is going to happen. It uses data to just combine what's the cause of action. So companies that use prescriptive analytics, they are companies that are actually looking into their data and letting their data tell them what should be the next course of action that they should take. While cognitive combines semantics, artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, all of this into the form of like human-like intelligence to make informed decisions. In our day-to-day activities, in our day-to-day living, we use this kind of analysis one way or the other. And as a data analyst or as a business intelligence analyst, you can actually delve into any area of this and equip yourself with the right skills to actually deliver value for whatever company or whatever career path you have chosen to go along with. Now, as a means to also open our eyes to the data space, these are some of the roles in data, like quite a lot of new ones that are not here. There is the machine learning engineer, there's artificial engineer, there's DevOps engineer, but these are just one of the most, sought out roles today in companies across the world. Business analyst is majorly like the go between the business and the business intelligence analyst. So business analysts will go to meet with business, know what their requirements are, what kind of reports do you want, when do you want the report, in what shape and format do you want the report, and he or she will document the request and sit with the business intelligence analyst, and then the business intelligence analyst will now develop the reports, and the business analyst will also ensure that the report meets the requirement of the user or the business. In some companies, business analyst is actually interchange with a business intelligence analyst, right? Some companies just say business analyst, your role is to use data to get insights and guide business on what to do. So how that is going to be done is also encompassed in your role. So sometimes you see a business intelligence analyst functioning as a business analyst, right? So there's like a very thin line between those two roles, but I'm just trying to put the distinction between them. Now, a data analyst or a business intelligence analyst is the one that actually uses data and uses a lot of tools to get insights and actionable intelligence from data and presents it in a meaningful way that users can use to, make informed decisions. So a data analyst will use tools like Excel, you use tools like Power BI, in some cases Tableau, you use SQL, use Python, you use SSIs, and so on and so forth. But the major and the most critical tools that a data analyst should know and be competent in are Excel, Power BI, and SQL. Now, if the data analyst wants to equip himself or herself in other tools, very fine and good. But these three are actually the most crucial for any data analyst. A data engineer is the one that actually uses some other advanced tools to prepare data into a particular format before analysis can actually take place. So a data engineer is the one that creates data pipelines, how data is picked or fetched from different sources, either on the web, in a database, in Excel, in a cloud, on a premise, whatever, and whatever shape that data is. A data engineer brings in that data, transforms it using different tools and maybe programming languages, and then loads that data into a repository that a data analyst can plug into and create their reports. Also, a data scientist also plugs into the data that the data engineer has prepared, right? A data scientist basically used some form of tools and techniques, basically uses science, mathematics, statistics, and a lot of algorithm programming languages to actually infer or come around models that are centered around guiding business on what needs to be done, or maybe business models to help improve business decision making. So you see models like churn model, like what's the next best product, for instance, that next best product model can help tell your company, if you're going to roll out a product now, this product will actually bring about this near revenue in the first 3 years, and then in the next 3 years we are going to start losing money. So the scientists can create that model that will tell the company, this venture that you want to delve into is going to be profitable. This staff that you want to recruit now, the staff is going to probably resign in the next 3 months. The data science combine a lot of historical data combined with science, mathematical and statistical analysis to actually make a dependable form of intelligence. Database administrator is the one that basically manages data sitting in a database. So you have your company working on several applications, and as they're working on the applications, data is stored in a database. A database administrator ensures that the data is well kept, the data is backed up.
Which one do you want to
People
do?
that needs access to.
I'm saying that which one?
I didn't know that.
Sorry, I muted everyone. Well, you need to unmute yourself to continue. But I think Karimat has her hand up for a question. I don't know how you want to. Maybe you want to wait till the end or something.
Okay. Do you mind, Karima? Do you mind if I just finish and then I'll take your question. Do you mind if you just note down your question so that I just take all the questions once, please?
Okay, I'll wait. That's fine.
Thank you very much.
Then your screen has changed. We are seeing the teams now.
Yeah, I had
Okay,
to
it's
switch
better
back.
now.
Okay. So database administrator ensures that data is properly maintained in the database. People have access, the people that should have access to the data have access to the data, and the overall how that data is maintained, how that data is backed up. That is what the database administrator does. So these are like few of the roles in the data space, and each of these, like you can imagine the remuneration for each of these roles, nothing less than 40K for each of these roles, I can guarantee you. And you can actually get up to 70, 80, 90, 100 if you combine some other skills and have the sufficient experience. You can get up to 80, 90,000 annually. That's in the UK. If you are actually equipped in any of these roles and you have the sufficient experience. Now, what do data analysts do, right? Our focus is basically data analyst or business intelligence analyst. Their role is just to majorly prepare data. So you're working with a company that has a lot of data. Data is generated in many ways, shapes, and forms, right? Either in text or in a database, in a cloud, wherever. Your role is to prepare the data, right? After preparing data means a lot of things. It might mean that you're going to be cleaning the data, you're going to be merging data together, you're going to be removing duplicates and all sort of things. Then you also create a model. So if you have data coming from, let's say, different departments, let's say HR, finance, human resources, audit, and all that, and you want to make sense you want to make sense out of all the data in that company, you need to model your data. That means you need to create relationships. How does the data coming from HR relate with data coming from finance, right? HR will typically contain staff data, finance will contain staff salary. So how do you marry these two together so that you can make sense out of the company's data? That's what you call modeling. Then you analyze your data. That's when you now start, making sense out of your data, putting into graphs and charts, and then trying to pass a message or tell a story from your data. While analyzing your data, you also visualize it. You need to like put a picture to it, and the choice of visualization also very, very much matters. You can't use a pie chart to represent a form of analysis that has like about 12 different slices. Your pie chart will be too busy and it will be difficult for your user to actually make sense out of the pie chart. So you want to use the kind of visualization that fits purpose for each of your analysis, and these are part of the things that I will be showing you in the boot camp that we are having next year. Also, you manage your data. So you want to create a dashboard and you want to say, okay, these people should have access to this data. I don't want these people to have access because it's sensitive data. So there's one thing in Power BI that allows you to manage who has access to what in your dashboard. Now, what tools are I've talked about these tools that are widely used by data analysts: Microsoft Excel, Power BI, SQL. Tableau is used interchangeably with Power BI. If you have the knowledge of Power BI, you can definitely apply the knowledge to Tableau. They have the similar kind of structure. So we'll be learning Microsoft Excel, Power BI, and SQL in the 8 weeks duration of our course. Now, just to talk about Microsoft Excel, I know a lot of us have heard about Microsoft Excel. It's actually a fantastic tool. Some people call it a monster, right? I remember my very first interview about how many years ago now, when I was interviewed on a data analytics role, and the person that interviewed me asked me, how good are you with Excel? And I rated myself, let's say, I think 6/10. And I said, wow, really nice, interesting. And he told me, do I know this function? Do I know VBA? Do I know this? Can you do this? Can you do that? And I said, no, to each of them. And I said, okay, now rate yourself again. After examining myself and saying that I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, over 5 functions that the man mentioned, I can't do any of them. I just gently said I'm a 1, and he said, okay, it's fine. Even me, with the number of years that I've been working on Excel, I can't rate myself 4. And I'm like, what is this tool called Excel? And after so many years of working with Excel is a tool that you continue learning each day. So because there are so many things that you can do in Excel, but we will be teaching you what you actually need to know, what can actually set you up, prepare you in the right path as a data analyst. So you'll be learning the basics to advanced Microsoft Excel, and most of these modules are actually in our learning management solution, where you can just go and watch the video. There will be exercises also that you can also download and also practice as we go along. Then Microsoft Excel, talking about it, it's used to analyze data, you can create dashboards, you can automate, how data is fed into your Excel and how that dashboard is refreshed. You can create pivot tables. You also learn about so many functions: VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, index, how you can just sort data, how you can clean data. All those things are part of the things that you'll be learning in Excel. Now, this beautiful tool called Power BI is actually top in demand. It's very easy to use, right? It has a vast integration with other tools. So if your company is using a database in the cloud or on the premises, or on Oracle database, Microsoft database, Azure, whatever platform, Power BI can connect to that data source, pick in the data, and then you can use it to analyze your data. It also has the fantastic ability to do web embedded. So if your company has an application, you can actually embed Power BI in their application or in their website, such that they don't need to log in to Power BI every day to see their dashboard. You can actually take Power BI to the application. The typical way that people do Power BI is that they bring the data in different applications into Power BI and then analyze. But now you can actually use Power BI web embedded, bring Power BI to your website or to your application, and then people can actually see what's going on real time. This actually is a form of an advanced feature and requires some little bit of programming, just little bit of programming, but it's actually very cool functionality of Power BI. Also, Power BI can allow you to create artificial intelligence powered questions and answers. So you can create a dashboard that your user can actually have some predefined questions. Let's say, for instance, what is my sales revenue for Q1 for this particular sales officer? So if that question is created in form of a button, right? If your user clicks on that button, artificial intelligence runs in the background and gives them like a graph or a chart answering that particular question that they have clicked on. So you as a data analyst can just think of what are the likely questions that my user might want to ask, and then summarize all those questions in like a question and answer visualization. And when your user just clicks on those buttons, graphs and charts will be popping up to answer your user. So that's one very interesting functionality of Power BI. Then there's one thing you call smart narrative, which typically allows you to tell a story from your analysis. So you can just pull up a story telling that in like the last 30 days, we recorded a 50% increase in our revenue due to blah, 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 blah. And it just tells that story based on what it can pick from your data. So there's one thing that runs behind that we call it natural language processing. That's what Power BI uses to just pick all those stories and then combines it in a narrative. And that can also form a form of visualization in your report. And there's row level security that allows you to prevent access to certain reports for certain users in your analysis. So we'll be doing introduction to Power BI. Power BI is a business intelligence tool. It's owned by Microsoft. I think it was released in 2014, and it's part of the Power Platform in Power BI. So Microsoft has the Power Platform. We learn more about that in the class. There are quite a number of interesting tools in Power Platform, and I might just give you hints into one or two of them. Now, SQL is structured query language, is the world's most extensively used database language. So data sits in databases, and you want to manipulate data, you want to relate with that data, you want to fetch that data, you want to change things in that data to fit the purpose of your analysis. You need a language, right? And that language is called structured query language. Some people call it SQL, right? It is high in demand, right? There's no job as a data analyst that I am aware of today, ever since I came into this UK. There is no job I'm looking at, a job role I'm looking at that they won't have ask for the knowledge of SQL, right? And SQL knowledge is actually versatile, cut across different databases and different companies. Either you're looking to work in a bank, you're looking to work in a textile industry, FCMCG, any industry, it's actually cut across all of them. And so does Excel and Power BI. It's basically used to extract data and to manage data. It increases your chance of landing high jobs. So, like I said, there's no data analyst job that I've been looking that does not include the knowledge of SQL. So, it's actually one very crucial tool that you need to learn. So, I think that's pretty much my theoretical aspects. I still have like a few minutes demo to just show you around Power BI, but I don't know if RK want to take professional web portfolio, which is one of the service that you'll be
Yeah, that's fine.
enjoying.
That's fine. So I think yeah, thanks AY for giving us insights. So moving on. So I already think I explained the professional web portfolio, because I think that's one part that a lot of people are not familiar with, or what it looks like, or what it's going to be. So it's like a website or a web platform where you can visualize, where you can have a visual format of your brand, right? Because for some skills, you need more than your CV, right? To actually show what you can do. For instance, designers, web developers, data analysts who have created who have created projects, dashboards, and the likes, right? And as a service, we are offered this as a standalone service, and it's £150 as a service. And imagine you are getting this as part of the extensive package. I mean, if you even minus just this one and the CV and LinkedIn stuff, I think you will see that what is left is change and does not even cover what other things you are getting as part of the training. So that's just to explain what this professional web portfolio is. So you'll be working with our developers to build a web portfolio for yourself. That's if you go for the extensive package. So the last part before we go into the demo is the project. The last part before we go into the demo that the facilitator is going to be blessing us with is the project. So what is the project going to be like, or the work experience you'll be getting? So after you've learned how to use Excel, after you've learned how to use Power BI, after you've learned how to use SQL, so you'll be working on, you'll be getting opportunity to work, to apply all these skills you've learned in a final project. So we're providing you with data sets, right? Real life data sets, right? That you'll be solving problems from. You prepare this data, you clean this data, you analyze this data, and you prepare dashboards and reports, right? That is meaningful, and you also prepare a presentation that would show the process, and you would a clear visualization or dashboard that would display the numerical, so you can have tables as well as graphs in your dashboards. So this is like what would make your hand stronger in this field. And you'll be getting reference for this project that you'll be working on. So some people ask me that what's the terms and conditions that I put in front of the referencing. You have to complete your project and submit it for you to be referenced, because we would not want to put our name on we want to be putting our name on your CV, or as a won't be referencing you if you did not, I don't know what to say, apply yourself, and complete this project. That's the condition to complete the project. And like I said, while you're also working on the project, probably when you finish your dashboard, you can post it on LinkedIn, post it on your LinkedIn as well, and tag us that this is what you worked with. These are things that get you to attract recruiters to your page as well. That gets you to attract recruiters to your page, posting your progress, posting activities, posting skills you are learning. And that's why even within LinkedIn itself, you can actually take all these tests and post it on your page. So I think that explains the project. So you gain UK work experience and get reference. So because I think a lot of people too that have done MSc in these courses, one of the things, because I was actually very I didn't really want to do like referencing, but I saw that there are a lot of people struggle with actually having a work experience, right? That they can refer to for them to even enter the industry, right? They would need a relevant experience to the role. And because the objective of the trade of this boot camp is to deliver everything you need from start to finish, right? For you to land your first data analysis job. But yeah, so equipping you with those things, and that's why we would also be referencing you for the completed project.
So I will be showing you Power BI briefly, right? So this is one analysis that I came up with. I think I just started it just before we started class. You would imagine how long it took me to create this. I'll tell you for free that it didn't take me more than 5 minutes to create this dashboard, right? And fine, you can say that I've been working with Power BI for more than 8 years, but this is part of what you guys will be able to do on your own, right? Within minutes, right? It takes me about 5 minutes because I've been working with Power BI for more than 8 years. But trust me, if you understand the basic principle, you can also create this kind of wonderful looking and easy to read dashboard in less than 5 minutes, right? So one thing I just want to just show us briefly, right? You can change the outlook of this dashboard, like this, like background image, the theme color, you can change it to whatever you like just within clicks, right? I can just change this to like a black theme within just changing that. So this is just there for just to show you around things that you can do with your analysis. And to show you around Power BI, this is Power BI Desktop. It's a free application that you can download today. It's part of what we are going to be learning in our bootcamp. I'm going to be showing you around how to work with this fantastic tool, how to bring in your data. So Power BI has this ability to connect to tons of data sources. I can connect to Excel. I can connect to different databases. If I want to see the extensive list, I just click on more, and it brings up the list of data sources that I can connect to. I can connect to a PDF file, I can connect to a SharePoint folder, to different types of databases, right? I can connect to Power Platform. I talked about this. I can connect to Azure services because it's a Microsoft tool. Microsoft has created like a separate category for Azure services, Microsoft Azure services. So if your company uses any of these cloud-based services, you can easily connect to any of the services here, and Power BI will go and bring in all the data in those data sources and bring in right here into Power BI for you to analyze. Then there's online services. There is Google Analytics. There is Office 365, SharePoint, Salesforce. I think there's even a connector for Twitter and Instagram here. There's Asana, whatever tool. So your company might be using any of these applications. So Power BI has made it in such a way that you can just connect to it and bring in the data here and analyze it for your company to use. So these are other data sources that you can connect to. So there's a whole lot of extensive list of data sources that you can connect to. So once you connected to them and you bring in your data, there is also something I'm going to show you how you can transform your data. You can prepare the data, right, to make it make sense. So sometimes the data will come in a particular format. It might be dirty, it might not be clean. You can use this Microsoft tool to actually clean up the data and transform it into, I think I have an error with the data source, but not to worry. This is part of what we are going to be exploring in class. I think I did a clear up of my temporary folder, so this particular file is not readable. But this tool, Power Query Editor, is the tool that we are going to be using to transform our data. You can even see some of the things that we can do here. You can, split a column. You can remove duplicates. You can append queries. That is appending different data sets together into one. And then once you're done with that, you can now, bring in the data here for your analysis. These are kind of visualizations or charts that you can actually use, right, to represent your data. I can change each and every one of these to anyone I choose just by clicking it, and depending on which one is appealing, which one makes more sense, which one represent all the slices clearly for my user to be able to make sense out of, depending on that, I can use any one of them. And then there's also some fantastic functionalities that can allow you filter your data. I can select a particular product and my data changes, select this product, the data changes, select discount bound to high, the data change. So it's all interconnected, right? And because my data is just well prepared and clean, that is why I can have a selection of data. And there's also a fantastic tool in Power BI called Data Slicer. It's used for dates, so I can move my date back and forth and my visualization changes. So this is just to let you know that you are going to learn a whole lot of things within that short period of time that we're going to spend together, and you actually be amazed at what you are going to be able to come up with. Like Arukera said, there's going to be projects that you're going to come up with yourself based on the data sets that we'll be sharing with you. It's going to be hands-on, it's going to be practical, so you are going to be doing some of these things yourself, and it's going to be mind-blowing. You're going to be surprised at what you're going to be able to do at the end of the course. So I just thought, let me just show you into Power BI, see and look and feel the application, and let you know that you're going to be doing a lot of things with this tool when we get started. You can also insert images. Let's say you want to create a background image, for your visualization or for your report. You can insert an image, maybe a company logo and all that. You can insert buttons. Maybe I want to, from this page, I want to navigate to the next page. I can insert an information page, such that when I click on that information page, it takes me to an introductory page to my report. I can do all sort of things to make my reports interactive, and that is why it is Power BI. It's meant to be interactive. Your user are meant to engage with your report and have some sense out of the data. So basically, this is just like a taster that I want to just show you, and you get to learn more about this in the bootcamp. Thank you very much.
John, thank you so much, everyone, for coming, and can't wait to have you on board. We can't wait to have you in the training. Like I said, if you want to discuss payments installment, the payments links are there, they're automated. You can click on any of the link and make payments straight through. But if you want to discuss anything around installments or around you can send us a message. You can send us a message. You can send us a message on Instagram and on our other platforms as well.